Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are taking a look at the Tier 4 Clemson. And you might be wondering, why did I not show off the other two, the Tier 2 and the Tier 3? Generally, they're just so low tier that yes, they probably should be mentioned, but I did not think it was really worth the time because most times you'll actually go right through them very quickly while you're trying to get to the next tier. So it's not very difficult to actually go through the tiers. Now, I've never thought I would go through the US destroyer line, but I decided that since I'm actually about finished with the Russian destroyer, the Japanese destroyer, and the German cruiser, that I might start on something a little bit different, something I'm not accustomed to, because I have tried the Mahan when I was on the public test server. I did try that and I was not accustomed to it. So we're going to start taking out the USA destroyer to see how it comes out, because I know how very potent they can be. I know how a single destroyer can win against two Zhaos. I've actually seen that happen. I believe it was a Benson that won against two Zhaos. But we're going to actually take a look at the Clemson. Now, Clemson is actually fully upgraded. We're actually going to be getting rid of her. Like I said, these low tiers, you go through them so quickly that I don't really think it's noteworthy. I don't want to say that the tier Samson and the, oh good lord, I'd have to look. The Samson and the Wicks were not great ships. They were fun to play, especially these low tiers. They're always fun to play. But I think a good starting point would be the Clemson moving into the Nicholas. And hopefully by this time I'll actually know what the names of the ships are, being able to tell the difference between the tiers. Anyways, so she is fully upgraded. That's something to keep in mind. Well, semi-fully upgraded. The only things I didn't go for were the guns and the torpedo increase, but we'll talk about that in just a second. So survivability, 10,900. It's a tier 4 destroyer. Not really much to talk about. She is decent as far as guns. She has 4 dual 102s, and this is very beneficial because when you first get her, she only has single guns. So once you get the gun upgrade, which is this one over here, it changes from single to dual. So that is probably something you definitely want to get because it does provide additional shells out in the air. Range is 7.8 kilometers. This is stock. You can get, I think, up to about 10 kilometers. Actually, I probably better check this. 8.6, yeah, not 10 kilometers. What am I talking about? 8.6 kilometers, and that is beneficial because we'll take a look at her concealment. So reload time on the guns is 7 seconds. Turn times is 18 seconds. Max HE damage is 1500, and chance of fire is 6%. So kind of lousy. And it's just more of a pestering ship. You are great against destroyers, but against battleships, you really need to get those fires to really do max damage. Firing range is 7.8 kilometers with a velocity of 884 meters per second. So they're not bad. Torpedoes. It is an American destroyer. Their torpedoes are, I don't want to say they're abysmal, but they're kind of abysmal. They have a 5-kilometer range with a 1.1 kilometer detection range by sea, with a max damage of 9,900, with a 40-second reload, and you have 2 per side, so you can get off at least 8, I believe. No, sorry, 6. You can get off 6 per side, so a total of 12. So not bad, not bad, I guess. So torpedo speed is 56 knots. Kind of slow, but I mean, it's once again a tier 4. At this tier, the other ships generally aren't moving that quickly, so you do have that benefit, even though they are a little bit more nimble when it comes to the battleships. Now, AA guns, nothing to really talk about. Once you get up to the higher tiers on the destroyers, their AA guns are pretty decent. They even have the consumable of defensive fire. So that is something of noteworthy once you get up to the higher tiers. But these low tiers, once again, don't have the greatest AA defense. Now, max speed is 35 knots, a little bit slower than the Japan, I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I've actually gone through these low-tier destroyers, so you have to forgive me if I don't quite fully remember. So 34 knots. Okay, so it is slightly faster than the Japan, and I believe we'll have to take a look at the Istaslav. It is about the same speed on the Istaslav. So she is tied with being the fastest destroyer. But once you get up to these higher tiers, the U.S. destroyer line generally will outpace the Japanese destroyers around tier 8 and 9. But once they get to Shimakaze, Shimakaze actually becomes second. The USSR destroyers are almost always going to be the fastest destroyers around there. Now, turning circle radius is 520 meters with a rudder shift time of 2.8 seconds. So, very nice. Detectability is 7 kilometers. And that's why I was saying it's kind of nice getting that additional range, because that adds 0.8 kilometers. So, you have 8.6 kilometers. I'm going to have to double check this. Yes, 0.86 kilometers. So, with this, you'd actually have a 1.6 kilometer increase to where you can fire. But once you fire, you can't invis-fire on the ship, because once you fire, you have a detectability of 10.1 kilometers. So something to keep in mind. Now, once again, she's not actually fully upgraded. The upgrade to the torpedoes increased the damage and the range to 5.5, but increases the reload time is probably actually what I should be saying. And Ray talked about the increased range on the guns. Now, once you get the hull upgraded, if you go without it, you don't have the additional health, the AA, and the maneuverability goes down as well. It increases the rudder shift time. So it's kind of nice going for that B hull, especially getting the gun upgrade is very beneficial for the Clemson. But other than that, this is actually going to be a goodbye to the Clemson. I've had her for a little while. I knew that eventually I will be going up the USS destroyer line, but we'll see how it goes as I get up to the higher tiers. So I will see you guys in the replay. See you guys there. Alright everyone, welcome back to the replay with the Clemson, and we are playing on Big Race. We have a Nikolai, which I want that ship, a Nassau, a Kawachi, Kuma, St. Louis, 2 Kohlbergs, a Bog, Clemson, Isakaze, and a Itzislav and a Wix. On the enemy team, there is a Kaiser, South Carolina, Kawachi, Dane, 2 Kohlbergs, Tenru, Bog, Clemson, 2 Isakaze, and a Derpski. Yeah, I know, I'm probably referencing someone else that has named it that. There's probably actually quite a few people. Anyways, the Clemson is not a bad ship. Let me take over the camera real quick. You can see this is actually with the upgraded guns. Like I said, it is very beneficial to have. But the side guns can only be fired at whenever you show a broadside. That's something to keep in mind. They're not central line like later tier USS destroyers are. And so you do have to show that broadside. You can only get about 3 guns off at a time. And you do have that kind of airtime on the shells, so you can pump them over a island more easily than, say, a Istaslav or even a Isakaze can. So that is one benefit. We are joined with a Isakaze, so let's see how this goes. This area of the map is generally known for destroyers. Destroyers like to go here and do a knife battle, and that's one good thing that U.S. destroyers do really well. They do a fantastic job at just knife fightings, and you will see this in the replay. So nothing is spotted, but more than likely there is probably some destroyers. The Isakaze probably has better detection than I do. We're going to be detected almost immediately by the Isakaze. And the Tenru is there as well. Tenru, I do not want to deal with. We do land 1 shell on the Isakaze, which is not particularly great, but I am starting to move away because, like I said, Tenru is actually a really good ship for her tier, and she's very potent, and I do not want to get close to that Tenru. You want to stay from cruisers as much as possible. So we do land a few hits on that Tenru. not doing a lot of damage. I generally notice is that whenever, especially once we actually start seeing battleships, you really have to aim for that superstructure on top, or else you won't do damage. Now I'm probably referencing these higher tiers, but more than likely once you get up to the higher tiers, you can actually start using armor piercings. But we're not there yet, so let's actually fire some torpedoes towards this Dane. See if we can actually land a hit. We do see a Dirski, and there is a Tindru. And I was hoping to get some torpedoes off, but it looks like he actually grounded himself on the side of the island. And we are being proxy spotted right now. So let's see if we can get away. We are at least going to be spotted by the Tindru for a little bit. I do kind of do a panic smoke. And there is a Dane British cruiser with torpedoes and fairly decent armor piercing, and I'm in a really bad spot. He does fire torpedoes. I am gonna ground myself. Can we dodge? Oh, we are able to dodge the torpedoes. Very nice. And he's able to dodge ours as well. Looks like he's starting to turn around. Oh, I'm in a bad spot. The smoke's not helping. We are being proxy spotted. Caught fire on him. He's gonna dump his torpedoes. I know he is. Here they come. But fortunately, I'm able to actually start pulling forward, and we are able to dodge his second spread of torpedoes. Ooh, that was really close, but we're kind of in a awkward position. Fortunately, we're not going to be spotted by anyone because we are in smoke. There is a Asakaze. Let's see if we can land a few good hits on him. See if we can take him out. So we do have our very first kill of the game. Asakaze does go down to the Kuma. But there's a Dirski, and oh, there is a Clemson. He is full health. Oh, he's probably going to fire torpedoes. This is something you should not be doing. Don't always rely on your torpedoes, because I'm able to dodge that. It's going to fire my spread of torpedoes, and looks like he's firing armor piercing, which is rather bit odd. And there's the Dirski with a huge amount of torpedoes. We do get the Clemson fired a spread of torpedoes toward the Dirski, and I think we're good. Double strike and devastating strike. Very nice. And there is a enemy Kawachi super close by. It looks like the Dirski did get off a couple torpedoes before he died. We're gonna fire a last spread towards this Kawachi. We might get a hit. There's a lot of torpedoes in the water right now. I feel kind of bad for the Kawachi. The Kawachi is very similar to the Nassau as far as gun arrangement is, but it still suffers from the horrible dispersion on the guns, so they're not very reliable. But I think we should be able to get a torpedo and our fourth kill of the game. Ooh, this was very quick and exciting. And I guess this is kind of the usual for U.S. destroyers is these very close quarter combats, and I'm gonna run aground. I really need to stop doing this. I need to stop running aground because it really messes me up. But fortunately, we're not gonna be shot at by anyone soon. The Kaiser was the only person spotting us, so we're not being detected, which is very nice. Now, our team's doing really well. There's only 5 ships left versus 10, so 2-to-1. We should be able to take care of this as long as no one makes any stupid mistakes. It does look like we do have a battleship that is AFK, plus a couple cruisers kind of set back a little bit. But this Kaiser is just being hammered away, and I really want my Kraken. I'm one ship away from my Kraken. I would definitely love to get a Kraken. Kaiser's a excellent target. It looks like he's actually starting to turn in a little bit. And I'm trying to predict where he's planning on going. Fired my torpedoes, but one thing to keep in mind. The torpedoes on the Clemson is only around 5 kilometers, and there's a bog as well. This is what something nice about the USS destroyers, because they have those dual-sided torpedoes, and we are well within range of the Kaiser's secondaries. Now, remember those torpedoes I fired? Well, they're moving in, and they fall short. Of course. They would have hit, had they had any additional range. Had I had the torpedo and upgrade, probably would have killed them. But right now, I'm in a bad situation. I'm only sitting at 3,000 points of health, and I need to disappear. Waiting on my smoke. I did not get premium because I usually don't for these low tiers. It's just too much waste of a money because you generally don't make that much money whenever you're in these low tiers. But torpedoes, oh, we might catch one. I think we might just catch one at the rear, and we get Confederate. Very nice. The Kaiser did catch us on fire. We caught him on fire, and yep, I'm gonna smoke up. We lost engine. Just used our damage control. Can't move. Smoke should be able to cover us up. Very nice. And this Kaiser is just getting hammered away. We were able to catch another fire on this Kaiser. Can we get Kraken unleashed? He's so close to dying. 2,000 points. He looks like he is using his heal. He's on fire. Come on, come on. Ah, the St. Louis does take out the Kaiser. And remember, the Kaiser actually blew out our engine. And I have no damage control. And if you could not tell, I have Steven Seagal on this destroyer. Which means, yeah, his acting is horrible. That's what it means. No, he's also not quite fully upgraded. Obviously the one thing I am missing is Last Stand, so I'm not able to get my engines fully functional. They are completely shut down, but finally the engines are fixed by our crewmen, and we're able to go. 2 ships left on the enemy team, a Coburg and a South Carolina, and there's still a chance I can get a Kraken. I just have to get close. I'm very low on health. I'm only 655 points of health. But the friendly team is just hammering away on this Coburg and the South Carolina. So I don't think we're going to get this. Coburg goes down, and all that's left is the South Carolina versus a Nikolai. Which the Nikolai is a very powerful battleship for her tier. She has very powerful guns, and it looks like he's using high explosive. Or no, that was the destroyer, or cruiser. The Nikolai is going in for the kill, and South Carolina is probably going to go down. So this is actually going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jen.